So, SpaceX just landed a contract for $2 billion with the Pentagon, not for rockets, not for Mars. For war. Specifically, for a next-gen missile defense system called the Golden Dome. Yeah, that's not sci-fi. That's happening. Let us break this down. Back in May, President Trump and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth unveiled the Golden Dome, a sweeping plan to build an aerial shield over the U.S., designed to intercept missiles before they hit. Think of it like Israel's Iron Dome, but scaled up to intercept threats even if they're launched from space. The goal, a real-time, space-based defense layer that can detect, track, and neutralize airborne threats, missiles, drones, aircraft, before they even get close. And now, SpaceX is reportedly the lead contractor. According to the Wall Street Journal and The Independent, they are getting $2 billion to build up to 600 satellites for this system. These are not just passive eyes in the sky. They are part of what is being called an air-moving target indicator network, satellites that can track fast-moving objects from low Earth orbit with insane precision. This is not just about one contract, it's about a shift in how the US military thinks about space. And SpaceX, they are not just launching rockets anymore. They are becoming the backbone of national defense. Let us talk scale. SpaceX already operates over 8,000 satellites through Starlink. That is more than any other entity on Earth. And now, they are layering on a new constellation, one that is militarized, classified, and built for real-time threat detection. It is not just about building satellites. It is about building a system that can talk to itself, adapt in real time, and feed data directly into defense networks. And this is where it gets even more interesting. The Pentagon is not stopping at missile tracking. The same satellite infrastructure is reportedly being tapped for 2 more classified projects, one for secure military communications, think encrypted battlefield comms, and another for vehicle tracking. That is right, real-time surveillance of ground assets, potentially anywhere on the planet. This is where SpaceX's speed becomes a strategic asset. They can manufacture and launch satellites faster than anyone else. That is why the Pentagon is leaning in. And it is why companies like Anduril Industries, Palantir Technologies, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and L3Harris are all circling the project, building the AI and data infrastructure to make this whole thing work. But here is the tension. $2 billion is just the start. The Golden Dome's total price tag, $175 billion, according to the White House. That the Congressional Budget Office says it could balloon to $524 billion and take 20 years to build. That is a moonshot, and critics are already warning about over-reliance on a single contractor, especially one run by Elon Musk. Because here is the twist. Musk and Trump had a spectacular falling out this last summer. Public insults, threats of deportation, accusations about Epstein files. Musk even threatened to decommission a spacecraft used by NASA. And yet, despite all that, SpaceX is still in line to win the deal. That tells you something. Either the feud cooled off, or the Pentagon sees Musk's tech as too critical to ignore. Either way, the funding was quietly tucked into Trump's one big, beautiful bill, passed in July. No contractor named. That the signals are clear. So what does this mean for the future of warfare? It means the battlefield is moving to orbit. It means AI-powered satellites will be watching the skies and the ground -24/7. It means the line between commercial space and military space just got a lot blurrier. And it means SpaceX is not just building rockets anymore. They are building the infrastructure of a new kind of war. One that starts in space.
5 black drones flew into the wildfire smoke, not to fight it, but to understand it. In a 30-acre Minnesota prairie, these AI-driven machines zipped inside the burn. No pilot, no joystick. This is the high-stakes experiment that could change how we fight fire forever. Just AI, watching the chaos unfold from inside the burn. The University of Minnesota's aerial robotics team is not just detecting fires, they are predicting them. These autonomous drones analyze smoke plumes in real time, reconstruct them in 3D, and forecast the fire's move. Not tomorrow. Now. The University of Minnesota's aerial robotics team is building something radical. A swarm of autonomous drones that do not just detect fires, they predict them. These machines analyze smoke plumes in real time, reconstruct them in 3D, and feed that data into models that forecast how a fire will move. Not tomorrow. Not in a lab. Now. Nikhil Krishnakumar, one of the lead researchers, raised the controller and said, "It is all autonomous now. I am not doing anything." That is not just a flex. That is a glimpse into a future where AI-guided aerial robots handle surveillance, modeling, and maybe even suppression, without risking human lives. But here is the twist. The real breakthrough is not the drone at all. It is something they found hidden inside the smoke. Smoke is chaotic. It shifts with the wind, and it hides the fire's next move. But these drones are decoding it, tracking embers that travel miles, and learning how fires evolve in real-world conditions. That is something lab experiments cannot replicate. And this is not happening in isolation. Across the country, the future of fire detection is being built in layers: satellites, towers, drones, all feeding a real-time network. But the real revolution is what happens after they detect the fire. Fire departments have always collected data, incident reports, response times, building codes. But AI is turning that data into foresight. Descriptive analytics shows us what happened. Diagnostic analytics tells us why. Predictive analytics forecasts where the next fire might start. And prescriptive analytics. That's where AI starts recommending actions, where to deploy, how to respond, what to prioritize. AI flags the higher risk zone. A firefighting robot is pre-deployed. When the fire breaks out, drones scan the area, feeding thermal data to an AI that maps the spread. The system recommends a strategy. No guesswork. Just precision that saves lives. And the robots? They are not just flying. They are crawling into collapsed buildings, rolling into chemical spills, and hosing down infernos too dangerous for humans. Some are equipped with thermal cameras, gas sensors, even radiation detectors. They can locate victims, assess structural integrity, and suppress fires, all while keeping firefighters out of harm's way. This is not about replacing firefighters. It is about giving them superpowers in the face of a crisis that is getting bigger, faster, and more unpredictable. Traditional methods cannot scale. But AI can. Robotics can. The transformation is already underway. Next time fire starts talking, AI will answer the call, and humanity will be safer.
So, here is the thing. What if the most important device you own next year is not one you ever actually look at? It does not buzz, it does not light up, and it sure as hell does not need a cloud connection. That is the hardware vision quietly forming inside OpenAI, and it is bigger than most people realize. Sam Altman recently hinted that OpenAI is building a consumer device, not a laptop, not a phone, something small, self-contained, and capable of running models like GPT-5 or maybe even GPT-6, completely offline. Let that sink in for a second. A personal AI companion with raw, localized intelligence, no servers, no latency, no data farming. Just instant reasoning, right in your pocket. This is not just a hardware project, it is a decentralization bomb. Then Sarah Frier, OpenAI's chief financial officer, dropped the detail that cracked this story open. She said the device would be multimodal and designed to be provocative. That single word, provocative, says a lot about what they are building. Multimodal means it does not just handle text, it listens, sees, and speaks. It processes sound, vision, and language simultaneously. And that is not just an upgrade, it is the start of a new computing era. Think about it. Every major shift in personal tech came with a new substrate. The PC era gave us the keyboard. The smartphone brought touchscreens. It is moving from interface to presence. Frier even said she looks forward to tech that does not make you stare down at a screen. That is the philosophical core here. Less attention hijacking, more ambient intelligence woven into your daily life. So what does that look like in practice? Picture something small, palm-sized, always on. No wake word. No need to tap or swipe. It just sits quietly in your pocket or on your desk. Equipped with a microphone, a camera, and a tiny speaker, continuously aware of your surroundings. Not in a creepy way. More like a personal sense organ for your digital world. You talk, it listens, it responds, immediately. And this thing is not just another smartphone replacement or watered-down smart speaker. It is being built to change how we relate to technology itself. That is why Jony Ive, the design legend behind Apple's most iconic devices, is involved. Ive does not design gadgets, He designs cultural artifacts. If OpenAI and Jony Ive are partnering, it means this is not about features, it is about behavior. How humans live alongside AI. The scale of what they are planning is just wild. OpenAI's internal goal is to ship 100 million units faster than any company has ever reached that number in a comparable category. Not $100 million in sales, it is 100 million devices. That is not a pilot program. That is a global invasion. The only companies that move hardware like that are the ones defining the future, not reacting to it. And the design philosophy goes hand in hand with privacy. Because it is running locally, this AI does not send your voice or visual data to the cloud. Your personal context stays yours, completely. That alone could rewrite public trust in AI devices. No scraping, no storage, no hidden data training loops, just on-device processing. That is great for you, and a nightmare for the cloud giants whose entire business model depends on centralized compute. If OpenAI actually delivers this, an I've designed, multimodal, fully local AI companion, it is not just a new gadget. It is an existential threat to the way cloud computing is monetized. Amazon, Google, Microsoft, all of them rely on you needing their infrastructure. This thing could cut that cord entirely, but there is a catch. And it is the same one everyone in AI keeps running into. Chips. The global chip shortage is not just a production issue. It is a national security issue now. AI hardware is the new oil, and OpenAI knows it. That is why they are reportedly seeking a federal guarantee from the US government to help finance massive AI chip investments. Fryer did not mince words. She called AI a national strategic asset. That line is not public relations. It is geopolitical positioning. The US wants to secure its dominance in AI computation, while China is ramping up its own local hardware efforts. Every major power now sees chips as the literal foundation of future intelligence. Whoever controls the compute controls the direction of innovation, defense, and even economics. That is why this rumored device is more than a consumer product. It is a frontline move in a new technological Cold War. A screenless, local AI companion running on domestic hardware is both a market disruption and a strategic signal. OpenAI does not want to depend on anyone else's cloud to operate. That is autonomy, technological, economic, and political. It is bold, but also a bit poetic. After decades of devices designed to capture your attention, this one is being built to give it back. No endless feeds, no scrolling doom loops. Just an intelligent system designed to integrate into your life quietly, efficiently, and privately. If this works, the shift will be massive. We will go from tapping at screens to living with ambient intelligence that simply exists around us. It is not our glasses. It is not a headset. It is the next substrate for human-machine interaction, an invisible layer of cognition that lives beside you. And OpenAI is not creeping into this slowly, they are sprinting. Between Altman's ambition, Fryer's financial push, and Ad's design ethos, this project has all the ingredients of a once-in-a-generation hardware moment. The speed, the scale, the privacy angle, it all points to one thing. They are not just releasing a device. They are trying to define what comes after the smartphone. And if they pull it off, the screen won't be the center of your world anymore. The future is not in your screen.